everyone, it's Anya here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are turning our mandala, which we made in the previous video, into this lovely wall hanging here. So I hope that you have enjoyed making your mandala and that you will join me now in this video to make the wall hanging. So I'm going to be using my big scissors for that. I have my measure here for my length of my strands, and I will also be using one of my big darning needles as well as these wooden beads. So I have several sizes here. They all have a nice big hole, so that's what you need. Then you will also need a metal mandala ring. Now this one is a metal one because you can break that one. So I managed to find the join and I have broken this one because that's what you will need to be able to attach your mandala to it. And then of course you will still need your yarns because we will be making the tassels with it. So here we are, this is our mandala. Now remember our metal ring here. Well, yes, I did break it and I made the opening open so that we can easily thread on our mandala. So I have it opened up here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pretend I'm sort of threading it on like a needle. So you go into the V, then you come out at the top and you go back into the next V, but again from the front. So you're threading this on as if you're sort of, doing it with a needle. Did I skip anything there? No. Make sure you don't hurt yourself on this edge because it is a little bit sort of sharp, or, not smooth anyway. It's not really sharp, but still. There we go. So it's the easiest way, and you just scoot it along by sort of doing these sort of circular movements. And people are going to wonder how you managed to get this on. There we go. Now, of course, towards the end, we're going to have to stretch things out. So as you can see, look how pretty this looks. And you're just going to, oh, I've got to bring it back. I've gone too far off the end here. And to be honest, you're just going to have to fiddle about with it until it all works out and matches up. There we go. Oh yes, that worked. Look at that. So once you get past that sort of halfway point there and you keep on doing this, it'll get a little bit easier again. Let me show you a bit higher up. There we go. Look at that. Oh. See, I've gone a little bit too far there, so take it back. There we go. Look at that. Oh, the last one does not want to go. There we are. Okay, so I've done that one now. Hold on to the end there. Scoot things about. And now, of course, we have to make sure that we can stretch our metal again so that our ends meet up, which they don't at the moment. Yeah, bring this in a bit. So bring more fabric towards your cut end there. There we go, and I can position it like this. There we are, look at that. So I got my hot glue gun out and I put a couple of dollops of hot glue onto where I broke my mandala, and I left it to dry because before I just started fiddling with it and it came undone straight away, but now I've left it to dry. It feels quite solid. So there is quite a few drops of hot glue on there, and it's dried now and it's cold and it's quite solid. It also incorporated some of the yarn, but that's okay, it's fine. So that is the mandala done. So now let me show you how to make the tassels. Basic tassels. So these are really easy tassels, no band, just tie together at the top and just one tie to make the sphere on top of the tassels. So let me show you how to make a basic tassel. So this is just a piece of cardboard that I had. This just ended up being 17 centimeters, so a revolution of 34 centimeters. So I'm just going to wind this round, and for all my other tassels I wound this round 80 times. So nice thick and fat tassels. So here we are, so that's another one. There's another one here. I've already made loads. So all I need to make now is a second one of the raspberry. So let's get on with that. So I've got my 80 revolutions, cutting off the yarn, and I'm just also cutting off the yarn there. So now I have my strands there. I'm now going to cut quite a long piece. There we go, about 60 centimeters, and that's going to be for the middle. So that's not in the middle, but take the ends, fold it over, make sure they're at the same level, and then you pull this up like so. And then here I am going to just do a double knot, so put it through twice and then carefully tie it up, pull it really well. Because you've done a double knot, it should stay, and now I'm just doing an extra knot for insurance. And then hopefully all your ends should be reasonably at the same level. Then I am going to get another piece of yarn, and this time I'm going to lay it onto my tassel, lift up the tassel, bring the yarn through, bring the other end through to the other side, and I'm going to tie this at the top here, but we're going to again do a double knot, so bring it through twice, and then if you very slowly pull, you will also notice that the strand that we put down first will tighten as well. And then of course, once you have made more than just the one tassel, you're going to have to make sure that your head here is about the same size, and I guess that's about at the same level, so that's okay. If it was too low or too high, you could still adjust it now. So now for the final pull, there we go, nice and slow steady pull, and an extra knot for insurance. And now we have this to deal with. So once again, let's try and make sure that all the ends are at the same level. There we go, that's not too bad what I had to cut off. Voila! And we are going to decorate them. with these. Now I have quite a few of these, as you can see. I don't really use them for much, so I'm going to try and use as many as I can. It might seem a bit excessive, but why not? So I have made lots of tassels of the other colours as well, and what I thought of doing was having the sage, then going out for the other colours, and then the raspberry at the end. So I have now added to the tops of the tassels the beads, putting the threads onto my big needle here, and then choosing my beads. And as it turned out, I think this is quite a nice sort of way of doing them. So I have some with the 3 ones, and then in between I have the single ones, because doing this one with the big ones was, yeah. So anyway, it didn't all look as good as it does now. So I am just putting those beads onto there, and I've just got another one to do after this one. There we go. So just pulling out the strands, voila. So these ones are just like so. So once I had these 3, so there's a middle one, and then I had these 3 like this, and then it was easier to start doing the other ones. So I have about 2 V's space in between each of these, and yeah, it worked out sort of doing it. I'll show you how I did it in a moment, but just making sure that they were sort of tiered, that was the main thing that you have to do. So here I have those 4 strands. Then on this side I've tied this really tightly, so it's going to be the easiest one to do, but like I said, take your time to do this, so that you know you get the effect that you want. So making sure there's 2 V's in between, I am going to pull through 2. The easiest way to tie them is making a knot like this, but keeping it really loose, and then just seeing how far it had to go. For example, here, you know, I was able to still now adjust this knot to make it shorter or longer depending on how you needed it, and that's the easiest way to do it. Of course, for this one now, hang on a minute, I have to undo, oh, I undid so many knots as well, but once I had this system, it was so much easier. And of course now this one, it needs to go all the way against there, because that's the height it needs to be at. So I'm going to tie the knot as close as I can, and then just adjust it so I have it there. That's easier where I need it to be. So just adjusting. There we go. Okay, so yes, it's a matter of just sitting there and adjusting your knots. Then I put it all to the back, so pull this to the back, and then I turn it over. Let me just do that. And I don't know whether you can see, but I have been sewing in the ends. So there were like 4 ends everywhere, so like here, and this one here, of course, I still have to do. So you just use a needle and you sew it in, and then of course cut off the ends. So yes, clearly when you do have a color that is contrasting, you are going to see the yarn running through there like here. But of course there's nothing I can do, because I need to make sure, this is the back of my mandala, I need to make sure that I stay at the back. So don't, like here you can, of course, because that is the same color, but do not go through the stitches to the front, because otherwise, yeah, you will see it. So just picking up a few strands like this and just pulling it through. and then just making a little turn and a little knot maybe, and going a different direction. I mean, it's not going to come undone because obviously you're not going to be wearing this or pulling this or whatever. It's just going to be suspended, hanging on the wall, so hopefully nobody will look at the back of it to find these strands sewn in. But yes, it took me a little while just to, you know, get all the lengths correctly the way I wanted them to. There we go. Okay, so you'll have to do this with all your tassels like that until you've done all the ends, and then we will have a look at how we're going to hang this up in a moment. Okay, so now to hang up my creation, I have made a chain. I would say it's about 1 meter long. Depends on where you want to hang yours, of course, or how you want to hang it, but this gives it a little bit more of a thicker sort of strand of yarn to hang your creation up with. Now I am going to just, where am I? You need to make sure that you find your middle one, and then straight from there you're going to attach it. So normally you should be maybe counting the oh well, I'm going to pull it through like this. There we go, that's attached. And now I'm going to put this on my needle. And yeah, maybe we'll see how it works. We'll see if it works. Yeah, there we go. We pull through some of the beads because I just want to use more beads and decorate some of my mandala at the top there as well. There we go. So now I am ready here with these two to tie it somewhere. Either to tie these together and then hang it around a loop or something like that. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so here we are. Look at that. I love that mandala. I love the way it looks. So this is the back. Let's now turn it. Ta-da! There we go. This is the front of it. So we have a lovely colourful mandala, sage, raspberry, gold, apricot and parchment. Easy stitches to remember, easy to do. And we have used lots of beads because I just wanted to use those up, and I have made my tassels hang down like this. Now I know the tassels look a little bit unkempt at the moment, and they are very thick for what they are. And they're a little bit crowded there, and they're a little bit frilly, so we are going to sort that out in the next video. So I will see you in the next video to make these tassels look a little bit more presentable. So I hope you have enjoyed this video making this mandala, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.